Hello and welcome to Pendant and Ring. Thank you for joining us today for part 1 of Lives of the Tudor and Stuart Princesses. This book was written by the late Agnes Strickland, author of The Lives of the Queens of England, The Life of Mary Queen of Scots, etc., etc., with 2 portraits. This is a revised edition. It was published in London by George Bell and Sons in 1907. Original preface to the Tudor Princesses. The lives of the princesses of the royal Tudor lineage, including Jane the Queen and her sisters, the Ladies Catherine and Mary Grey, are here for the first time presented collectively in chronological order. They are followed by that of the Lady Eleanor Brandon, Countess of Cumberland, the second daughter of Mary Tudor, Queen Dowager of France, by her marriage with Charles Brandon, Duke of Suffolk. On her posterity, failing that of the Lady Frances, Marchioness of Dorset, the fatal heritage of the regal succession of England had been entailed by the despotic will of Henry VIII, confirmed by Act of Parliament in his reign, and after his death by the illegal deed of settlement wrung from his son Edward VI in his dying illness. This important and much required chain of royal female biographies commences with the birth of the beautiful Mary Tudor, youngest surviving daughter of Henry VII and his consort Elizabeth of York. A rich amount of fresh unedited historical matter is embodied in the life of this princess and those of her posterity. The rupture of her contract with the Prince of Spain after she had worn publicly his ring of solemn betrothal and borne the title of Princess of Spain, her state marriage to the aged and infirm sovereign of France, Louis XII, with all its pomp and pageantry, her splendid but brief royal wedlock, her briefer widowhood, and hasty love match with the king, her brother's representative at the court of France, the Duke of Suffolk, the object of her early affection, are circumstantially recounted here. The base, unkingly manner in which Henry VIII played on the conjugal tenderness of his young, inexperienced sister, till he terrified her into surrendering into his greedy hands the rich stores of jewelry and plate lavished upon her by her late royal husband, quaintly described her as "my winnings in France." To purchase his forgiveness of Suffolk's presumptuous marriage with her is fully shown in the holograph letters of him, whom a recent eloquent panegyrist has eulogized as the most noble and generous of men, imputing all his crimes to his patriotic love of England. Highly curious carved busts of Mary Tudor, the royal widow of France, and her second husband, Charles Brandon, Duke of Suffolk, remain as bosses in the Lady Chapel of Southwold Church in Suffolk, of which the Dukes of Suffolk were especial patrons. Woodcuts from these interesting time-honored relics of the past will be found in this work. It may be observed that Mary Tudor wears, in a modified form, the widow's veil, which royal etiquette required her to retain as Queen Dowager of France even after her second marriage. The Lady Margaret Clifford, Countess of Derby, granddaughter of the Queen Dowager of France and the Duke of Suffolk, was the last surviving of the princesses of the royal Tudor lineage on whom the regal succession was entailed. The events of the Lady Margaret's life have never been previously recorded, either in history or biography. Cautious silence respecting the false accusation and long imprisonment of this last of the kindred female victims of Queen Elizabeth's jealous state policy fettered the pens of contemporary annalists. Nor have the historians of the House of Stanley done aught to raise the cloud in which the destiny of this lady has hitherto been involved. Even in the family archives of her noble representative, the Earl of Derby, enquiry has vainly been made for letters and memorials of her, from whom he derives the blood of the royal Tudors. The biography of this ill-treated lady will be found replete with interest, and affording a striking picture of the golden days of good Queen Bess. The volume closes with the life of Lady Arabella Stuart, who by her marriage with young William Seymour, the grandson of Lady Catherine Grey and the Earl of Hertford, fondly imagined to unite her claim to the regal succession as the English-born descendant of the Princess Margaret Tudor, eldest daughter of Henry VII, with that which he, the male representative of Mary Tudor, Queen Dowager of France and Duchess of Suffolk, derived from the will of Henry VIII, an unrepealed Act of Parliament, and the illegal deed of settlement rashly executed by King Edward VI. Here ends part 1 of our brand new book. Hope you like it. Remember to like the video so we can share with more people on YouTube. Subscribe so you can get part 2 in your inbox next week. Have a great day. See you next time on Pendant and Ring.